Please be seated. I just want to squelch any rumors. That pregnant pause, actually one of the students, they were not finishing their last requirement. They were all in good standing. As president of Rocky Vista University, I am truly pleased to extend greetings to all gathered here today. It's indeed an honor to make it known that Rocky Vista University will award the degree of the Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine to our 152 graduates in the College of Osteopathic Medicine, class of 16. Hoorah! This ceremony marks the university's 5th annual commencement exercise and the 10th anniversary year of RVU's founding. To pay tribute to this great nation for the many freedoms we enjoy, will the audience please rise again for the posting of colors and join the soap notes, the Rocky Vista University a cappella group, in singing the national anthem. Gentlemen. Well done, color guard. Please be seated. Well done, color guard. Please be seated. We have invited the very Reverend Sue Gardner to deliver the invocation. Reverend Gardner was born and educated in England. She received her Master of Divinity degree from the Iliff School of Theology at our own Denver University and has served numerous churches in Colorado, Indiana, and Kentucky. I'd now like to invite Reverend Sue Gardner to the podium to deliver the invocation.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being here. I honor each and every one of the graduates And I honor the parents and the loved ones who have supported them through this long journey. Way to go. Will you just, if you feel so moved, bow your heads in prayer. If you don't feel so moved, you can look at me. Creator God, Great Spirit, Jehovah, Lord God, Father and Trinity, you whom we know by many names, we call upon you asking your presence among us as we celebrate the graduation of these exceptional people on this special day. We give thanks for their commitment in pursuing the paths that they have chosen as they begin their lives' work. We also give thanks for dedicated teachers, counselors, family members and friends who have walked with them on this long and arduous journey toward their goals. Each one of these graduates has been given great gifts, and each one of these graduates has great gifts to give. Creator God, we beseech that you walk with them, granting them light when they see only darkness, leading them onward when they become weary or disheartened. Allow them to see your angels in their lives, those who will be there to catch them when they fall, those who will lift them up when they feel like failures, those who will energize them when they tire, and those who will nurture them when they need to be cared for. They have chosen professions that will take much from them, so I pray that they will know when to reach for a higher power. I pray that they will allow themselves to be taken care of so that they may continue to serve their patients with care. Dear God, help them to receive that care even as they give it to others. We pray that they will always keep alive the energy and the excitement they have this day. Bless each and every one of those who graduate this afternoon. We thank and praise you. And in the tradition of my particular denomination, I do so in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Gardner. Members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty, graduates, families, and friends, I again extend our welcome. Graduates, we know this is an exciting day for all of us. It's a day when you fulfill the promise that began with your acceptance to Rocky Vista University and culminates today with awarding of your professional degree. Graduates, I invite you to look at this vast audience gathered here to celebrate what you have accomplished. Please enjoy your day. On behalf of the faculty and all others in our community we proudly call Rocky Vista University, I extend thanks to the families and friends who have joined us to celebrate the individual and collective achievements of the graduates. I am sure that the faculty will leave a part of themselves with each of the graduates. The faculty truly believes character in a student is as important as high grades. Our faculty want their students to not just be learned, but to be wise and decent, humane, generous, forgiving, and also to be light of heart. The perfect gift the faculty gives to their students is a gift of example. Will the faculty please rise and be recognized? I know the families who have joined us to celebrate the individual and collective achievements of the graduates are proud of what their loved ones have achieved. I know there are as many stories about sacrifices, aspirations, overcoming great obstacles, and realizing the impossible dream as there are graduates here today. Family, friends, loved ones, please stand. And graduates, please share your appreciation for them. Please. Graduates, each of you should enjoy the overwhelming feeling of pride and accomplishment as you now look at the next chapter of your professional development, residency training. You are going to some phenomenal places, and you are going to make a difference. We are so proud of you, and we congratulate you for the journey that you've taken and for the goals that you've achieved. Please, for the graduates. Now, please give me a moment to review the commencement exercises. You know, we're honored to have with us a nationally recognized guest speaker. The class valedictorian will give her reflections, and the graduates will individually be announced. And one of the more moving aspects of our program today will be the hooding ceremony. For the first time in our history, we will begin a tradition of family hooding. Many of the graduates will be hooded by members of their family or a mentor. And at the end of the ceremony, we will honor our military students with a commissioning ceremony. At this time, I would like to introduce members of the platform party. As the individuals in the platform party are introduced, I ask that they stand and be recognized. The Board of Trustees has wisely governed the course of Rocky Vista University and ensured that our mission has been preserved and strengthened to the position of preeminence that we enjoy today. Members of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Maha Salam, our Chair of the Board. Dr. Vanessa Sanchez, past Chair, Secretary of the Board. Mr. Iffy Tien, founder of Rocky Vista University. Dr. Lucy Chia, member of the board. Dr. Vanessa Sanchez. Got you again. Past Chair and Secretary of the board. And Mr. Tate Garrett, Chair of the board. Ms. Dane Alonzo. And Dr. Robert Sokol. We are pleased to have our Alumni Association President, Dr. Heather Katz from our inaugural class, 2012. Leading our commissioning ceremony is Vice Admiral Matthew Nathan, former Surgeon General of the United States Navy. Our commencement speaker, Dr. Boyd Boozer, President-elect of the American Osteopathic Association. And our very own Dean of the College of Osteopathic Medicine, Dr. Thomas Toll. I would now invite Dr. Maha Salam to the podium to extend greetings from the Board of Trustees.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just wanted to let you know that on behalf of the Board of Trustees, we are so extremely very proud of you. Every board meeting, we monitor your progress, we understand student outcomes, but nothing comes close to the vibe that we get from this school. You are truly a true special school, and you are a special crop of graduates that we are very proud to have you go out into the world. We usually are supposed to give you some inspiring words, but the truth is I actually get very, very inspired every time I spend some time at the school. I only ask that you always keep that spirit and that culture that you've developed at RVU and keep it with you and take it and carry it to the rest of your profession as you develop and no doubtedly do amazing things. So congratulations on behalf of the Board of Trustees from all of us. Okay. It is customary for the new president to ceremoniously receive the Presidential Medallion as a symbol of his office. Dr. Adams, would you please join me at the podium? Dr. Adams assumed the position of RVU's President and Chief Executive Officer on October 1st of 2015. He came to RVU after a long and distinguished career. After graduating from the Chicago College of Osteopathic Medicine in 1976, Dr. Adams entered the Navy and completed his residency training and board certification in family medicine and anesthesiology. He went on to earn a Master of Public Administration degree with an emphasis in healthcare in 1998. During his 30-year career as a naval officer, Dr. Adams achieved the rank of Rear Admiral and served as the commander and CEO of 3 naval hospitals, and as command surgeon for United States Fleet Forces Command, and command surgeon for Allied Command for Transformation, NATO. Upon transitioning from the Navy, Dr. Adams served in numerous leadership roles at Western University of Health Sciences for 11 years. He was instrumental in the development of Western's second campus in Lebanon, Oregon, and served as its founding dean. Dr. Adams also served as the Dean of the Pomona campus, the Vice President for Clinical Affairs, and the Senior Advisor of Strategic Leadership and External Affairs. His contributions to the osteopathic profession are extensive and will be a great asset to the continued growth and success of Rocky Vista University. Dr. Adams, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, it is my distinct pleasure to present to you with the Presidential Medallion.
Thank you, Dr. Salam, for your confidence and for you and the board have shown in me. It's indeed an honor to serve this great university as its president. I'm fully committed to grow the university and to assure its continued recognition as an innovative, high-performing organization, preparing the next generation of healthcare providers to meet the expectations and demands our society not only expects, but deserves. I'd be terribly remiss if I didn't acknowledge the true reason I stand before you today. That would be my coach, correction officer, and my bride for 43 years. Paula, thank you. Now I would invite Dr. Tom Told to the podium to honor our commencement speaker, Dr. Boyd Boozer.
Mr. President, I have for your consideration Dr. Boyd R. Boozer, candidate for honorary degree. Dr. Boozer is worthy of the distinction as he has accomplished as an accomplished leader in the osteopathic profession and medical education. He is an AOA board-certified physician in osteopathic manipulative medicine and family medicine. Boyd R. Boozer serves as Vice President of Health Affairs and Dean of the University of Pikeville, Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. Previously, he served as Interim Vice President and Dean of the University of New England College of Osteopathic Medicine in Biddeford, Maine. Dr. Boozer has served the American Osteopathic Association in numerous capacities, most recently being selected as President-elect. A fellow in the American College of Osteopathic Family Physicians, Dr. Boozer is past president of the American Academy of Osteopathy. In addition, he is the past chair of the National Board of Osteopathic Medical Examiners and was a founding member of the Board of Directors of the Osteopathic International Alliance from 2011 to 2013. Dr. Boozer served as co-chair of the Blue Ribbon Commission for the Advancement of Osteopathic Medical Education. He also served as a member of the AMA's current procedural terminology editorial panel from 2007 to 2015. Dr. Boozer received the A.T. Still Medallion of Honor from the AAO in 2010. Additionally, he is a recipient of the Ryland Medal for Public Health from the New York Institute of Technology, College of Osteopathic Medicine in 2013, as well as the Santucci Award for outstanding contributions to the mission of the NBOME. In 2015, he received the Pioneer of Osteopathic Medicine Award from the University of New England College of Osteopathic Medicine. Mr. President, Madam Chair, on the recommendation of the faculty, I present to you Dr. Boyd R. Boozer for an honorary degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Rocky Vista University, I hereby confer upon Boyd R. Boozer, D.O., the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, and grant this diploma in recognition of his outstanding contribution to the university and to the osteopathic profession and medical education. Dr. Boozer.
Thank you, President Adams, for your thoughtful words. The university is extremely fortunate to have such talented leadership in its president, dean, and board of trustees, and to have your strong support for the College of Osteopathic Medicine. Your leadership is an inspiration to all of us. President Adams, Dean Told, Rocky Vista University trustees, faculty, staff, and members of the 2016 graduating class of osteopathic physicians, it's my great honor to address you here today. And I'm humbled that you have deemed me worthy to receive an honorary degree from your fine institution. As we celebrate today, it's important to acknowledge your family, friends, and mentors who have supported and cheered for you every step of the way. I know their love and encouragement are a key reason you are here. No one achieves something this important alone. I know I would not be here today without the support of my loving wife, Pam. This fall, we will celebrate our 40th wedding anniversary. We're not quite caught up with Clint and Paula yet. But just a few weeks ago, we were sitting on our patio in Pikeville, relaxing with a glass of wine, and I heard her say, "I love you so much, I can't live without you." I said, well, is that you or is that the wine talking? She said, "Oh, it was me, but I was talking to the wine." Class of 2016, you are now joining a proud profession, one that values the relationship between physician and patient, that seeks health in our patients, and that recognizes that a person's state of health depends on the body, mind, and spirit. Today, our nation faces many challenges to building a healthy population. We're facing a growing physician shortage in many parts of the country. We continue to struggle with preventing and managing chronic diseases and addressing access disparities in the population that prevents citizens from getting the health care they need where and when they need it. I firmly believe the key to solving these problems and improving the health of all Americans is increasing access to high-quality, community-based care. Who is better prepared to lead the way on this front than our new generation of DOs? I'm very pleased to know that over half of this class will enter residencies on the front line of our health care system in family medicine, internal medicine, pediatrics, and emergency medicine. I believe our profession is at a nexus created by three elements of our environment: the explosive growth of the osteopathic medical profession, increased public awareness of our profession, and the opportunities created for us by the transition to a unified accreditation system for graduate medical education. I'd like to take a few moments to discuss each of these elements. First, growth. The number of DOs has quadrupled in the past 30 years. There are now over 123,000 DOs and osteopathic medical students, and we now represent more than 10% of the physicians in the U.S. and over 20% of family physicians. There are now 33 separately accredited colleges of osteopathic medicine on 48 campuses. Between 2002 and 2012, 18 new colleges and campuses were established, and our growth continues. With 1 in 4 U.S. medical students enrolling in osteopathic medical schools, and the majority of DOs under the age of 45, it's a really exciting time to be an osteopathic physician. As you move into residency, please know that your American Osteopathic Association is evolving to better serve your needs and challenges. We want you to spend more time and effort caring for your patients and less on managing your career. Second, public awareness. The AOA has made a significant investment to educate patients about osteopathic medicine and create demand for your services. We are nearly a year into a multi-year, multi-million-dollar consumer awareness campaign that includes national print, digital, social, and outdoor advertising, and a new website, doctorsthatdo.org. It should come as no surprise to you that consumers across the country are responding to our message in a very positive way. Since the launch last fall, we've had nearly 500,000 visits to the Doctors That Do website and over 250,000 Find Your DO searches. Patients are looking for you. Third, the opportunities created by the transition to a single accreditation system for graduate medical education. From the beginning, unifying the GME accreditation system has always been about preserving and continuing the distinctive elements of osteopathic graduate medical education and increasing opportunities for all physicians in training, MDs as well as DOs. The future of OGME is in ACGME programs with osteopathic recognition. This represents an opportunity for growth of OGME beyond the creation of de novo programs. We know that over 70% of DO students would prefer to enter GME programs that have osteopathic recognition. We're getting a strong response from osteopathic GME programs seeking osteopathic recognition, so critically important for our profession's future. And as we expected, ACGME programs are already seeking and receiving osteopathic recognition as well. With the transition to the single accreditation system, for the first time, MDs will be able to train in osteopathic-focused programs. Many of our allopathic colleagues want that training in osteopathic principles and in OMT. Now they can not only receive this training in their residencies under the single accreditation system, but the AOA will offer board certification to MDs as well, so they can earn a credential that attests to their osteopathic training. Our profession's growth, the increased awareness and demand for our approach to medicine, combined with the opportunities created by the single accreditation system, are converging in a way that places osteopathic physicians in a unique position to lead and influence action and change in healthcare. There has never been a better time or a brighter future for our profession. It's in our hands, literally, as well as figuratively. I invite all of you to join us as we create our future, a future where more and more patients get osteopathic care, what they want, what they deserve, and what you are trained to provide. Today, your college will grant 151 Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine degrees. A degree in osteopathic medicine is a very special degree. Our profession was established in the 19th century by Andrew Taylor Still, a visionary Midwestern physician. However, many of the principles of osteopathic medicine were recognized by certain enlightened individuals centuries before. Maimonides, the 12th century Jewish sage, noted, "The physician should not treat the disease, but the patient who is suffering from it. Much more recently, the famous physician Albert Schweitzer suggested we doctors do nothing. We only help and encourage the doctor within. Encouraging the doctor within is, in essence, the osteopathic ethic and philosophy. My hope is that the important medical and scientific knowledge you have learned here will be added to your observations, mental, spiritual, and physical, in your treatment of the patient as a whole person. Through your osteopathic education, you have learned that taking the time to listen and learn about the whole patient can affect true healing more than simply treating a disease. I believe that each of you here today understands this philosophy and will leave here to become successful physicians. From underserved areas such as rural Colorado to the highly populated cities of the world. You have committed yourselves to making the world a healthier place for others. So take your hard-earned degree and go out and do something great. And never forget, a degree in osteopathic medicine is much more than the accumulation of years of hard work or a fancy piece of parchment. It's a covenant, a pledge to respond deeply to not only the medical needs of your patients, but to their entirety as human beings. I hope your deep connections to service will bring you personal happiness and professional fulfillment, and I wish you success in your bright, bright futures. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Boozer. Well done. Those of you who attended the banquet the other night realized there was one student who made a lot of trips to the stage. And so I would like to ask Ashley Hommining to come to the podium to deliver our valedictorian's address. Another trip to the stage.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak before you today. Medical school has been a long, trying journey, but we persevered and even managed to have fun along the way. We should all be very proud of our accomplishment. Please indulge me as I thank those who were instrumental in my success. Thank you to my mother and father for their financial support, to my siblings and the rest of my family who put up with my multiple periods of freaking out over whatever obstacle was next. Thank you to my newfound friends at RVU with whom I could commiserate and enjoy time with. Thank you to my church family and to those friends outside of RVU that continue to support and encourage me along the way. Thank you to the faculty and staff and administration at RVU who worked so hard to help us become competent, compassionate physicians. And a special thank you to my extended family who traveled from Kansas to be here today. Ever since I started contemplating this speech, there was really only one thing of value that came to mind that I could share. A difficult yet precious experience that might serve as a reminder of the pitfalls we may face as we practice medicine, as well as the qualities we should strive to embody. I'd like to start my story by telling you a little bit about my cousin Tanya. She was a loving wife and mother of 3 children, and despite the fact that she was quite a bit older than me, she took a great amount of interest in me, and I have a lot of fond memories of time with her. Unfortunately, during my first year of medical school, I received terrible news. My cousin Tanya went to the emergency room with chest pain. It turned out to just be a particularly bad case of acid reflux, but she was sent home with a fentanyl patch for pain, which stopped her breathing and thus her heart while she slept. Her husband performed CPR and paramedics were able to restart her heart, but the damage was already done. brain death was eventually pronounced. In one last act of selflessness, she donated her organs, a gift of life amidst the tragedy. I hope that this story will reinforce the importance of humility in the practice of medicine. Multiple staff members expressed their concern about the medication that the ER physician prescribed. I imagine he thought it was the best option at the time, but he failed to heed their warning with a disastrous outcome. Now, I know you will all be excellent physicians who will make a tremendous difference in the lives of those you care for. But we must always seek to remember that we are human and will continue to learn throughout our careers. So I ask that when we are questioned, we keep in the back of our mind our own fallibility, that we don't take it as an affront to our abilities, but rather another opportunity to provide the best care possible. I also hope that we will have the courage to step up when we see something potentially dangerous going on. I know that I need that reminder more than anyone, being as timid as I sometimes am. Finally, I want to remind you just how powerful compassion can be, even in the darkest of situations. I remember a nurse who took care of Tanya after she was declared brain dead, treating her like any other patient. I remember a nurse spontaneously bringing me a pillow and covering me up with a blanket as I tried to sleep in the waiting room. Little things like that meant the world. So I encourage us to find those little things that we can do that will make a tremendous impact on our patients, even if we can't save their lives. Our ultimate calling is not to merely treat disease, but to care for people. I look forward to the difference we will make. Thank you.
Now for the part of the ceremony you've all been waiting for. Will those candidates for the degree of Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine please stand? The members of the faculty of the College of Osteopathic Medicine have evaluated the candidates and endorse all these students as worthy of having the degree Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine conferred upon them. Mr. President, members of the Board of Trustees, guests, and on behalf of the faculty, it is with great pride that I present to you Rocky Vista University's College of Osteopathic Medicine's graduating class of 2016.
Thank you, Dean. Graduates, I'll do this slow. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you, as you individually present yourselves, the degree of Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine with all the rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto. You are hereby recognized as graduates and alumni of Rocky Vista University College of Osteopathic Medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the graduates of 2016.
We will now honor the graduates earning the Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine degree. Hooding is the culmination medical students achieve for the DO degree. The hood adorned with the green velvet represents the academic color of medicine. The graduating class has selected Dr. Michael Tiemann, Chair and Professor of Specialty Medicine, to serve as the faculty hooder. Graduates were given the option of being hooded by a family member or mentor. The fellows of the class of 2015 will be hooded first, followed by our military students who will be commissioned today. The rest of the class will then be hooded in alphabetical order. Dr. Tiemann.
Dr. Alicia Rose Williams Kincaid. Nicole Leonard. Dr. Jordan Jacob Cohen. Dr. Elsie Catherine Haynes. Dr. Sarah Ann Jones Cutter. Dr. Drew Michael Rose. Dr. Maria Hero Costello. Dr. Benjamin Don Dahlberg. Dr. Andrea Nicole Dorr. Dr. Stephen David Edwards. Dr. Emily Grace Fitch. Dr. Caleb Blaine Hudspeth. Dr. Kevin Andrew Loudermilk. Dr. Zachary Levi Macbeth. Dr. Nathan Thomas McGraw. Dr. D. Breck Molliner. Dr. Brandon Price Noyes. Dr. Jace Benson Porter. Dr. Douglas Lee Robinson. Dr. David Michael Rodriguez. Dr. Ryan Matthew Slattery. Dr. Lynn Clayton Tout. Dr. Alicia Marie Eubanks. Dr. Jackie Broman Anderson. Dr. Ashley Nicole Armbruster. Dr. Aaron Jerome Arnold. Dr. Harris Oshroff. Dr. Wendy Michelle Barrett. Dr. Susan Marie Bauer. Dr. Sean Michael Bergston. Dr. Marcus Allen Bethron. Dr. Lindsay Jennifer Brickell. Dr. Bethany Joy Briggs. Dr. Michael William Britt. Dr. Nicole Roker. Dr. Mitch William Brown. Dr. Zachary John Brown. Dr. Josh Parrish Bushman. Dr. Sean Mitchell Caskey. Dr. Naja Chisti. Dr. Brittany Ann Cody. Dr. Chelsea Barrett Cole. Dr. Anastasia Collins. Dr. Sean David Conley. Dr. Kelly Corinne Day. Dr. Joshua Dibbles. Dr. Morgan Brooke Dreesen. Dr. Glenn Howard Engelman. Dr. Justin Cole Evans. Dr. Jacqueline Marie Faulkner. Dr. Michael Tomas Faulkner. Dr. Ashley Nicole Finchley. Dr. Catherine Rose Fisher. Dr. Peyton T. Flournoy. Dr. Kate Shelp Fallacy. Dr. Brandon James Fowler. Dr. Nicholas J. Frame. Dr. Brian Jonathan Furr. Dr. Gregory Douglas Gibbs. Dr. Christopher Bernard Gilsdorf. Dr. Michael John Gleason. Dr. Matthew Ian Goodstein. Dr. Tudor Julian Reganuria. Dr. Jordan Samuel Greenberg. Dr. Rachel Amalia Griffith. Dr. Hajura Hamidadan. Dr. Brad William Hammond. Dr. Joshua Ted Hansen. Dr. Ashley Lynn Harmony. Dr. Kristen Elizabeth Harmon. Dr. Nicholas Kirkpatrick Pitts Hassendross. Dr. Derek John Hayden. Dr. Audrey Ryan Hemmings. Dr. James Patrick Hickey. Dr. Benjamin Hirschberg. Dr. Erin Elizabeth Hoffman. Dr. Nitana Holtinsky. Dr. Catherine Elizabeth Huff. Dr. Charlotte Rips Hall. Dr. Justin Thomas Johnson. Dr. Mark Stewart Johnson. Dr. Daniel Francis Jones. Dr. Joshua Nathan Culp. Dr. Sean Robert Clark. Dr. Graham Franz Cameron Harris. Dr. Zachary James Cutler. Dr. Joseph Clyde Kingston. Dr. Maria Elizabeth Kowalewski. Dr. Ryan Joseph Costco. Dr. Daniel John Kramer. Dr. Kyle Morgan Hughes. Dr. Elizabeth Ann Kavoda. Dr. Kyle James Larson. Dr. Lindsay Rose Lawrence. Dr. Peter Frederick Layman. Dr. Katie Sue Lewandowski. Dr. Kylie Hallway Learman. Dr. Stephen John Long. Dr. Alexandra J. Loza. Dr. Kyle Andrew Marcool. Dr. Shannon Mackey Major. Dr. Tyler Glenn McCurdy. Dr. Megan Irene McKenna. Dr. Veronica Michelle Meyerbuck. Dr. Kevin Michael Middlemist. Dr. Bradley John Mohar. Dr. Sarah Hawks Monahan. Dr. John Edward Mahoney. Dr. Monica Leah Multani. Dr. Jared Dwayne Murdoch. Dr. Bilal Nassif. Dr. Kwok Hon Nguyen. Dr. Aaron Gregory Novotny. Dr. Jamie Dawn Knuckles. Dr. Michael D. Pellish. Dr. Courtney Perry. Dr. Samuel Joseph Luster. Dr. Kelly Stephen Powell. Dr. Lauren Nicole Powell. Dr. Kyle Philip Quillen. Dr. Joshua Paul Roach. Dr. Tyler John Rundy. Dr. Abigail Elaine Russ. Dr. Brian Allen Russ. Dr. Caitlin Ryan. Dr. Robert Ian Sand. Dr. Renee Michelle Sanders. Dr. Tina Michelle Scoggins. Dr. Eric Lee Seeger. Dr. Colton James Smith. Dr. Jacqueline Lee Stanton. Dr. Chloe Ann Stoffel. Dr. Kara Lynn Stewart. Dr. Luke Oliver Pop. Dr. Margot Rose Tengetti. Dr. Julia Christine Kenway. Dr. Richard Lee Tennant. Dr. Matthew John Terhall. Dr. Sarah Tomatis. Dr. Lauren Elizabeth Ford. Dr. Elizabeth Tu. Dr. Brandon Richard Valentine. Dr. Michelle Ann Valentine. Dr. Daniel Ardeen Verhoeven. Dr. Nicholas Damon Vassal. Dr. Denise U. Valoria. Dr. Danielle Elish Walsh. Dr. Megan Grace Wendland. Dr. Rick White. Dr. Mark Joseph Safarani. Dr. Chelsea Ann Zoller.
Would like to now invite Dr. Heather Katz, who not too long ago as our inaugural class walked across the stage, who is president of the Rocky Vista University Alumni Association and a graduate of the inaugural class in 2012. I would like her to extend greetings from the Alumni Association and administer the osteopathic oath. Dr. Katz.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you. Class of 2016, congratulations on this monumental achievement. We at the Alumni Association are so excited to be the first to welcome you to the association. The pin that I gave you, the alumni pin, I hope that you wear it proudly on your lapels of your white coats as you start and embark on residency. Remember that RVU was your foundation of your medical knowledge. We're really excited to see everything that you'll continue to do in your respective residencies, and you'll be amongst great physicians as we've gone out there already and have provided great things to our residency communities. I would like you to join me, and I have the privilege of
joining you as you take the osteopathic oath for the first time. So if you wouldn't mind rising, and any physicians in the audience, if you would like to rise and say the osteopathic oath, you're more than welcome to. Class of 2016, if you'd raise your right hand, as well as anyone who would like to say the oath. I'm going to read it and you're going to repeat after me, okay? I do hereby affirm my loyalty to the profession I am about to enter.
I do hereby affirm my loyalty to the profession I'm about to enter.
I will be mindful always of my great responsibility
Mindful always of my great responsibility
to preserve the health and the life of my patients,
to preserve the health and the life of my patients,
to retain their confidence and respect,
to retain their confidence and respect,
both as a physician and a friend who will guard their secrets with scrupulous honor and fidelity,
both as a physician and friend who guard their secrets with scrupulous honor and fidelity,
to perform faithfully my professional duties,
to perform faithfully my professional duties,
to employ only those recognized methods of treatment
to employ only those recognized methods of treatment,
consistent with good judgment
consistent with good judgment,
and with my skill and ability,
and with my skill and ability,
keeping in mind always nature's laws
keeping in mind always nature's laws
and the body's inherent capacity for recovery.
and the body's inherent capacity for recovery.
I will be ever vigilant
I will be ever vigilant
in aiding in the general welfare of the community,
in aiding in the general welfare of the community,
sustaining its laws and institutions,
sustaining its laws and institutions,
not engaging in those practices
not engaging in those practices
which will in any way
which will in any way
bring shame or discredit upon myself or my profession.
bring shame or discredit upon myself.
I will endeavor to work in accord with my colleagues
I will endeavor to work in accord with my colleagues
in a spirit of progressive cooperation
in a spirit of progressive cooperation,
and never by word or by act
and never by word or by act
cast imputations upon them or their rightful practices.
cast imputations upon them for the rightful practice.
I will look with respect and esteem
I will look with respect and esteem
upon all those who have taught me my art.
upon all those who have taught me my art.
To my college I will be loyal
To my college I will be loyal,
and strive always for its best interests
strive always for the best,
and for the interests of the students who will come after me.
to the interests of the students who will come after me.
I will be ever alert to further the application
I will be ever alert to further the application
of basic biologic truths to the healing arts
of basic biological truths to the healing arts
and to develop the principles of osteopathy
and to develop the principles of osteopathy
which were first enunciated by Andrew Taylor Still.
which were first enunciated by Andrew Taylor Still.
Thank you, fellow physicians. Please be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Katz. RVU Com class of 2016, you represent a small percentage of the students graduating in higher education today, but your potential contributions to the health and viability of our nation is huge. Today, you've inherited new powers and authorities that come with the DO degree and its privileges of unlimited practice of medicine. It may not feel like a big deal now, but you will feel the full weight of that mantle very soon when in an urgent medical situation, a nurse will frantically say, "Doctor, come quick, we need your help." And you will turn and find all eyes turned on you. There will be no professors, no chief resident, no attending physician to turn to for advice. It will be just you. At that moment, all the effort and training you have endured for the past 4 years will be worth it. The powers and authorities of which I speak is the privilege society gives you to hear and examine their innermost secrets, fears, and frailties, and possibly help them. The powers mandate you being their trusted advisor on matters of health, and yes, on occasion, even holding their life in your hands. Society will allow you to use drugs and technology with the potential to cure, but also the equal potential to inflict great harm. They will allow you to do this because you have taken an oath this day to hold the patient's well-being first above all else. Your patients will count on you to stand up for their best interests, even when employers, policymakers, and insurance will not allow it. As graduating physicians, we will look to you as our best hope for the future in winning what some have described as the battle for the soul of medicine, where physicians and patients, not third-party payers and money, determine the levels of care. It'll take strong resolve and a commitment to follow your medical moral compass. I found the best way to calibrate my medical moral compass is to ask yourself a simple question. Would I recommend this course of care or take treatment for myself or my family? Margaret Hamburg, MD, Commissioner of the Food and Drug Administration, made the following statement that I'd like to quote as my Dean's charge for you this day. Patients do not put their trust in machines or devices. They put their trust in you. You have already spent years of studying, training, doing research, seeing patients, and you're likely to have many more years of education before you. But please remember that the more skilled you become, the more specialized you become, the more dependent on technology you become, the easier it becomes to lose your humanity, forget your compassion, and ignore your instincts. So my Dean's charge to you today is never, ever leave or lose that medical moral compass. Thank you.
Amazing Dean, don't ever forget that. You truly, truly are an amazing Dean and role model. You know, in our brief history, we've achieved acclaim for our commitment to military medicine, including receiving the designation as a military-friendly school. With 91 students on military scholarships, we have earned the distinction of having among the largest number of students on military scholarships of any civilian medical school. We are proud of our students. We are proud of our students' service to our country, to preserve our freedoms, and are honored to witness the commission of 17 of our graduates as part of our commencement ceremony. We are pleased to have Vice Admiral Matthew L. Nathan, MD, the most recent Surgeon General of the United States Navy, with us today to lead our commissioning ceremony. At this time, I would like to ask Vice Admiral Nathan to please come forward.
Goes rolling along. And the army goes rolling along. And it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the cadence hard and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. Anchors away. Farewell to college boys, we sail at break of day, 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 day. Through our last night on shore, drink to the foam. Until we meet once more, here's wishing you a happy voyage home.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the stars. Here they come to meet the breeze of thunder, and
Down the dive, spouting your flame from under, off on one terrible course. We live in fame, or go down in flame. Hey, nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force.
At ease, please. Well, thank you for the honor to be part of this amazing ceremony. To the Board of Trustees, to distinguished faculty, to the students, and to the families and friends who got them here. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to stand before you and commission these fine young doctors. Not to get too nautical, but with President Clint Adams at the helm, I am confident that this institution will continue to steer by the stars and not by its wake. I also want to thank all of you out there. Some of you have had prior service, and for those who have not, you've certainly supported your troops along the way. President John Adams, when he was lamenting in a letter to a friend of his that he was not able to study all the things that he wanted to and read, if I could paraphrase what he wrote, he said, "I must study war so that my children may study mathematics and architecture. I must study war so that the children of my children may study the arts and astronomy and poetry," and I would add medicine. At the graduation dinner, I ran into a young gentleman of 90 years of age, part of America's greatest generation, a bosun mate in the Navy, serving on minesweepers, the Second World War. His name is Charles Tangway, and sir, I don't know where you are, but your son was on stage and your granddaughter received her degree today from this institution. Thank you for your service. He and I both ran into each other in the bar, so I'm sure we were both lost at the time. So as a medical educator for nearly 4 decades, I would simply add my congratulations to all of you and the amazing journey that you're embarking on. I have observed over the years that we all tend to want to get to the next step as soon as possible. We want to finish our school, we want to become interns, and then residents, and then fellows, and then staff, and then department chairs, and chiefs of staff, and professors. Don't hurry it. Enjoy the ride. Don't wish your life away. I would venture to say that just about everybody on the dais up here who's been doing this for a number of years would love to trade places with you right now. So congratulations, and congratulations on your new title. Get used to it. As your dean said, if you're on an airplane and you hear over the intercom, "Is there a doctor on board?" Tag, you're it. All of you, including these fine young men and women up here in this graduating class, share a tremendous ethos. You share a covenant to take care of those who come to you. You have a covenant to be there for them in their hour of need, perhaps in their greatest day of their life at the birth of a child, or perhaps the worst day of their life with a life-threatening illness or injury. You should be fiercely proud of what you have learned and what you can do, as you should be fiercely humble of what you have yet to learn and what you will do. It is a lifelong journey. Shipmates, wingmen, battle buddies, you embark now into an organization that is part of the armed services of this country. And in a minute, we will administer an oath to you, an oath of office to commission you. It is not an oath to a president, or to a king, or to an emperor, or even to a country. It is an oath to a set of ideas called the Constitution, which is the guarantor of our liberties and the way our democracy will comport itself. You have the honor and the privilege of taking care of perhaps the most special group of citizens in the country, those who step forward and wear the cloth of their nation, those who have said, whenever, wherever, if I am called, I will stand up. If I am needed, I will step forward. And as such, I hope you will always take tremendous honor and understand the privilege of caring for them and their families. As you embark in military medicine, you may serve in a variety of platforms. You may be in one of our teaching institutions, medical centers, working in the NICU, or in perhaps the oncology wards, taking care of somebody 8 minutes old or somebody 80 years old. You may be embarked in the research in the Amazon Delta, the Delta of the Nile, or perhaps the Mekong Delta. You may be serving on the sea, under the sea, above the sea, on the land. Although if you're in the Air Force or the Army and you're practicing medicine below the sea, something's gone terribly wrong. You will have the pride and confidence of this great institution and what it's taught you as a foundation to build on, and you will never, ever, ever forget to ask for help when needed. Because asking for help as a physician does not mean you failed or does not mean you're inadequate. It simply means you are not alone. And I will simply close before we administer the oath to tell you that you have a covenant bond with all your classmates now. To tell those men and women, their children, their families, their loved ones who seek your care, that if I am in charge of your care, if you have come to me for your care, then I will step out in front of you whenever death or illness or pain or suffering would come at you. I will step out in front of that patient and I will tell all those entities, you will have to go through me to get to them. That is your covenant with those you take care of. And the last is simply an anecdote, a story of why you should be proud of who you take care of and who you serve. When I was the commander at Bethesda, which ultimately integrated with Walter Reed during the height of the war, we had a young Marine come back from the war early because he'd suffered a pretty serious injury and he had lost one of his legs, part of his hand. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, today what's changed in military medicine is that in previous conflicts, it took 1 or 2 months for people to get back to the States. And now it happens in a matter of days. And so their family arrived at the same time, in just a short time after their injury. And this young Marine had come back from Bethesda. His young wife and his child of about 6 or 7 had come to the bedside and were first visiting with him. I walked in just to see how things were going. And he was, like many of these amazing warriors, he was just angry that he had been knocked out of the fight. And while we were talking, his little boy said, "Daddy, you said when you got back we would go to Disney World." And the Marine teared up His wife teared up. The little boy looked at his parents, and he teared up. And I said, well, when were you supposed to go? He said, well, sir, I was going to come back next summer, but this happened, and now I'm back. And so I looked at this little boy, and I said, you know what? I said, with what we've learned and what we can do, we're going to get you a prosthetic leg. We're going to put you through rehabilitation. And I looked at this little boy, and I said, and I guarantee you by this summer, I promise you, your dad will not only take you to Disney World, he will get on every ride with you. Little boy smiled. Wife smiled. The Marine looked up at me and kind of went like this. And I bent down and I said, Marine, I'm not making this up. We can do this. You will be running the 50-yard dash in 8 months. And he said, sir, it's not that. I didn't like those rides before I lost my leg. This is who you are charged to care for. This is who you will go to sleep every night being grateful they stand the watch, and you will be next to him. So at this time, let's go ahead and administer your oath. Attention to oath, please. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I further affirm that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution and the country whose course it directs. That I take this obligation freely, without mental reservation, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office that I am about to be appointed to. So help me God. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you America's newest, and I would argue finest, young officers.
Captain Zachary Macbeth. Captain Douglas Robinson. Captain Ryan Slattery. Captain Nathan McGraw. Captain Caleb Hudspeth. Captain Alicia Unangst. Lieutenant Brandon Noyes. Lieutenant Stephen Edwards. Lieutenant Emily Fitch. Lieutenant Varia Costello. Captain David Rodriguez. Captain Andrea Dorr. Captain Kevin Loudermilk. Captain Jace Porter. Captain Ben Dahlberg. Captain Brock Mulliner. Captain Lane Tout.
detail. Right. Face. Forward. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, these proceedings are now officially concluded. I would like to thank Ms. Erica Watley, the graduating committee, and all of the volunteers whose diligent and hard work made this ceremony possible. Family and friends are invited to greet the graduates in the lobby at the conclusion of the recessional. Please stay in your seats until such a time. Will the audience please stand for the retiring of the colors and remain standing until the end of the recessional.